Hey guys, welcome back. Another part, Gran Turismo, deep playthrough, driving school, challenges and single player career. Everything gold and everything first place, if I manage to achieve that. And circuit experience, of course. We were now in mission challenge, 25% completed, 2008. Amy Winehouse wins 5 times. Good for her. Beautiful picture of the Corvette in the background. Really cool livery. And let's see where we were. Let's do another phase. I think we finished phase 1 and 2 or stage. And let's do stage 3. Try to finish with bronze for better results. It's actually pretty cool. I have a bit of a hard time distinguishing between single player career and the challenges, because the challenges are also simply mostly full races. So I really like it, the races. It's good to get to know the tracks and the cars, but I wonder what the single player career will bring more than also just races. Probably more car tuning and stuff, and of course it are more the classes of cars, like the front engine rear wheel drive cars, 4-wheel drive cars, group 4 cars, etc. Anyhow, let's get into it. Participate in a group 4 race staged on the Big Willow. Be careful not to overrun the track and aim to win. That last part is self-explanatory. Aim to win.
Challenge a Group 4 race staged on the Big Willow. The desert gravel will make it hard to stop and return to the track quickly, so make sure to keep your car on the tarmac.
Yeah, I've noticed that in the previous race here. It's pretty easy to skid off track and then you're screwed. This is also again with multiple classes, I think. That like you're quicker than the competition.
On the straights, utilizing the superior acceleration of your car.
You see, I'm way quicker than that little Volkswagen to the right. So I think it are multiple classes within the same race. Which makes it, you have to really be on guard, not to fully smack on the back of a front liar. Somebody in front. Here we go. By the way, I always imagined this track to be way longer than it actually is. From the pre-release footage, I thought it would be way longer. Hey! No idea how many laps it is, but let's just make the best of it. Hey! Yeah, I have the feeling that my car is way quicker. Oops. It's really cool if you're on the edge of the track. It really gives you a bit of goosebumps. You feel the grip lessening. My bad. I've still no feeling where to brake hard and where not. For instance, this bend I could have taken quicker, I guess. But the problem is they all tighten up mostly further on in the bend. And then you get stuff like what I'm doing now. Also this one. Here it goes pretty okay. But here it's like squeezing tight. This one is also tricky. You think you have quite a lot of space, wide track, but you can very easily run off track over there in that left-hander. This one the same. Actually all the bends are like that almost. It starts pretty faint, and then over here it gets a little bit more sharp, and here there's like this kink in it. Woohoo! Okay, just to get into it, I'm gonna see a little bit of the replay. Always good to get into the Gran Turismo vibe. I think the physics, driving physics, they done it pretty well. They didn't make it like overly hard. You can pretty much correct in the corner if you're making a mistake and still get out on top. Just like in real life. I mean, driving really like Lewis Hamilton or Michael Schumacher driving, that's of course a different story. But driving is not that hard. Unless you're really on the edge, and this game really, takes that well. You can make a little mistake once in a while, as opposed to other racing games that are supposed to be serious sims. That I have the idea that they make it just so difficult to drive them, and then the more difficult it is, the more sim it would be. But that's of course bullocks. I mean, if it would have been driving in real life as difficult as some of the sims, feeling like you're really driving on ice all the time, like each moment your car can totally flip out, and if you say yeah it's really difficult, then the guys in the forums will mock you and say yeah you're not a true sim driver, blah blah blah. If real life driving would be that difficult, hardly anybody would be on track for the duration of a race. Yeah, it's maybe a bit over exaggerating it, but still, in my opinion, some so-called super serious sim racers, maybe not now in the 2000s, but certainly in the 90s and stuff, or in the beginning of the 2000s, they were simply too on edge, and this game feels a bit more natural, so to say. Okay, I will stop my rant now. Okay, I wanted to quit it, but let's see the final overtaking. Woohoo! And by the way, that's also one thing that I will pay attention to in my playthroughs. I have the volume in my headset now super loud because of the cool engine sounds and stuff. But that automatically makes me scream pretty hard. And what I'm totally forgetting is that the microphone doesn't have this. Doesn't hear the in-game volume, so I don't think there's a need for me to overshout the in-game volume. It would, I think, probably just be obnoxious in the final video. But unless when the voiceover gets on the same volume mixed in with the game volume, it might well be necessary to raise my voice a bit if the in-game volume is louder. I don't know. I will check. But at least it's an attention point. I will keep in mind my voice volume, because I know that I'm almost screaming now, or what? Now I was at least raising my voice pretty much. Okay, number 2, rally. Holy shit, these are pretty difficult. This is a short battle staged on a dirt track. The key to the challenge is the tight corner. Control your slide and exit quickly. I don't see what is the really tight corner. Is that the 90-degree one? I guess so.
This is a short battle staged on a dirt track. On dirt, you can control the heading of your car with the throttle. Exercise throttle control to manage your slide as you exit the corners.
This looks easy, but this one could be quite tricky, I guess. In the driving school, the rally section, I also found one of the trickiest. But let's turn with the throttle, dirt time attack. Let's just see. Too bad. What I remembered is being pretty aggressive with steering input. Really swing your car early in a bend and then control the slide. If you are gentle on the steering, like you would be in a normal corner maybe, on tarmac, then you will understeer and just slide wide. Super annoying that is. Like I'm doing now. God damn it. Yeah, this one is pretty tricky. damn it. I think I have to be faster in the beginning of the section. Here. This first left-hander I can do quicker, I guess. God damn it, but at least that's, I think, the key. Being faster in the beginning. Thank you very much. Bumped him off white, but yeah, that was not on purpose. Quick replay. It's too bad that the replays, I have the PlayStation 4 now on quality mode, I guess. Then you have some, I thought some extra effects, like motion blur. But the replays, I guess, are then kept to 30 FPS. And you really notice that sometimes. With a lot of particles going on and stuff. That it dips a bit, it seems. But at least it's all still fluid enough for me. I'm not that much of an FPS hunter. 50 is more than enough for me. Race the lightweight, high-powered Honda Sports VGT through the consecutive corners of the Suzuka circuits. Ah, cool. Suzuka, that's also really a throwback to Gran Turismo 4. And maybe also 5, I don't even remember. Yeah, I think so, also 5. But my fondest memories are, I guess, of Gran Turismo 4. Really curious about the graphical leap.
This is a one-make race in the lightweight and high-powered Honda Sports VGT. The braking into turn 1 is a good spot for overtaking. Make sure to use this opportunity in every lap to raise your position.
I didn't even hear what he said. What did he? Sorry, guys. What was the unique selling point of the car? By the way, I didn't even know this was a real car. And is it so high-powered? It sounds high-powered.
This is a one-make race in the lightweight and high-powered Honda Sports VGT. The braking into turn 1 is a good spot for overtaking. Make sure to use this opportunity in every lap to raise your position.
Ah, we do 4 laps. God damn it. Okay, no need to fully watch it. I've raced on Suzuka plenty times. Should get back automatically. But anyways, the Honda VGT, if they say explicitly high powered, how much would it be then? 300 horsepower, 400? I have no idea. What is this? N, you have N classes, right? Okay, let's check it out. Just for fun. I'm just curious. And the menus are all pretty quick, so this should not take that much time. Pretty snappy menus. Let's go to Asia. Let's go to Honda. Oh, this Vision GT again. Stupid fantasy cars. 400 horsepower, 900 kilo. Yeah, that's a pretty good ratio. And that's almost only half a kilo per horsepower. That's pretty powerful. Or am I saying that's wrong? Wait, that's... No, 2 kilos per horsepower. 225. 2.25. Alright, people. Let's continue with our challenge. Oh shit, I guess now we still have to watch the video again. That's so annoying. Here, it automatically goes there. If you didn't start the race yet, it always defaults to the video first. Oh, and if you click it away too quickly, then the menu doesn't pop up. It's all pretty annoying. This is all pretty a bit finicky with this whole YouTube integration.
This is a one-make race.
And also, you cannot cancel the video with the back with the circle button on the steering wheel. Only with the circle button on the controller. That is really stuff that I don't understand. But yeah, maybe just me. By the way, this is such a cool soundtrack, I find. It's really dramatic. Imagine if you're like in this cool 36 Le Mans race, driving into the night, like in the shimmer. Then or maybe like coming out of the night into the early morning, to the early sunrise. And then this music on your headset, doing an endurance race. I think then you will get pretty much into the racing flow. It's really like energetic music, like push it, man, push it. Okay, here we go. Holy shit! What a sound! .400 horsepower, 900 kilos. And we have our first victim. And man, it's pretty agile, this car. Holy shit. This is like the Lotus Elise with 400 brake horsepower from Japan. I always, the last one is always a bit tricky. It's a bit tighter. And this one as well. Holy shit. Cool sound. This car really wants to rev high up. If you're lower... Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's cool. It's also this that I know this track from previous GT4s to see the improvements. And it certainly is way more sharp, everything of course. But that's logical. Oops. This is a bit stupid. But probably not fatal. Those first two, they are pretty faint. This one is more sharp, I guess. This last one. And this one is, of course, super sharp. But this is not. This is only on this really short track. Normally, I think you bend off to the left over there. Alright, pretty easy. But again, the competition was not that stiff. They were pretty slow. Pretty cool little car. But still, it are fantasy cars, and that's what I don't really like, or fictitious cars. I do understand they build real life examples as well, just for shows, but it aren't production cars or anything. Okay, the SRT Tomahawk, again such a weird car, man. I actually googled on how to disable them, but I don't think there's a way. This is a battle of Group 1 cars on a high-speed oval. Use slipstream to your advantage to raise your position from the back of the pack. Okay, the last corner is tightest. 2 medium ones and then a really tight one.
This is an oval track race in a Group 1 race car. The car produces massive downforce, and the effects of slipstreams will be especially effective. Use this to your advantage to get ahead in the straights.
Holy shit, no braking at all. Only braking in the last corner probably. 360, come on people, this is crazy. Okay, back to 5th. A little bit lifting of the throttle in the first corner. The second corner is full out, straight out. pedal to the metal almost. And the last corner braking point is after the 100 meter sign, from 7th back to 5th. I have no speedometer. Cool, those sparks flying around. Very cool. Holy shit. Immediately they were on my back. I brake too much. Okay, I don't like, yeah, they're pretty, it's pretty spectacular, but I mostly liked, I don't like the cars that much, but the sparks and the pure aggressiveness of the cars, it's still pretty impressive. And also the airplanes flying overhead, like the thunder of the jet engines, it makes for a pretty chaotic and tense scene. But all the Gran Turismo Vision cars, they just seem wider and lower than any other normal racing car. That's like their design philosophy. Just stretch them out in the width and hammer them down in the height, and you have a Vision GT car. And also in length. They are just like almost a bit like almost comical, like it's a comic book car. Okay, enough Vision GT. Not my thing. And I don't mind that much doing once in a while a Vision GT race. But somehow I noticed it gets me out of the true sim, the real driving simulator vibe. because you really have to suspend your disbelief. Like, oh, okay, it's still a game, but yeah, maybe it could be real life prototype cars, so let's imagine that, and then we're still in a realistic game. But somehow it really, in the back of your mind, it creeps in that you're just playing a video game. While if you're playing in a Porsche GT3 in the Nürburgring, you really can really sink into it like you are in that Porsche. And if I'm like in some kind of a space rocket car, it makes it harder to get that same level of fidelity. But maybe that's just me. I'm a bit in my complaining mood. Okay, this is Group 1. I'm just checking out the classes you have. Group X you have. Group B. Group 4. And then you have all the N cars, I guess. Also N300. 200. 500. So let's see what is higher. The lower hundreds or the higher hundreds? I guess the higher hundreds. Group 4. Group X. Here, for instance, how can that Citroen be in Group 4? Just also call it Group X or something. Like, oh, this is actually not a Vision GT car. But I would say just call it Group Experimental or something. Like Group, let's just screw about a bit. But don't try to make it realistic if you have like fantasy cars. Okay, N300, indeed, the lower the 100 number, the lower the class, because the GT3 is 500, the Audi is only 300. And the GT3 somehow is in the same league as the Camaro SS. So probably that Camaro is pretty quick, but it looks like a really heavy, laggy car, but yeah, probably with a lot of horsepower. One moment, I'm searching for one English word. And that's what I wanted to call that Camaro SS. Otherwise it keeps in the back of my mind. That's annoying, sorry guys. One moment, in Dutch it's called Rombbb. And in English it's... yeah, maybe crude or hefty. It's not really the word I was looking for, but... maybe I know which word I'm looking for. In Dutch it calls log. Unwieldy. Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. A bit. What I'm trying to say is like a big oil tanker. It has massive power, but it takes a long time to decelerate, accelerate and go to left to right. And that is the feeling I get when I look at this car, compared to this car. Alright, Group 4, we have... oh, this is not even a group. Oh, this is N200. That's the lowest. N300, N300, N100. That's weird. That the little Alpha is higher up than this Mazda Roadster. Yeah, whatever. Okay, here we go. Aim for a top speed of 300 kilometers an hour. That is not too difficult, I assume. Just keep the pedal floored.
Use the slipstreams of all the cars you can to get up to maximum speed.
Okay.
You'll need to not only use the cars ahead of you, but the cars coming from behind as well.
How's that? Okay, there are probably quicker cars in the race, but cool. Very cool challenge. If that's indeed... yeah, here, there they come. Very cool challenge. But he didn't really use the car from behind. He only went out of its way. It's not like he was slipstreaming it. Unless slipstream really... Let's check that one more time. It really works from a really long distance away. But again, also what I noted on the previous video, I thought
the slipstreams of all the cars you can to get up to maximum speed. You'll need to not only use the cars ahead of you, but the cars coming from behind as well.
Use them, so probably for a speed advantage. Not only avoid them, but use them. I always thought, like I noted in the previous video, that slipstreaming only works like from like 7 feet away or something. But maybe it works from way further away. Because this is already more than 7 feet away. So this would still be using the slipstream. Maybe. Maybe the air is still a bit thinner. Even after 30 feet behind a car in front of you. Here we go. Here, now we are in real life cars and it's so much cooler than, oh shit, than the Vision GT cars. And now I will stop complaining about that. Enough. But this, what we're doing now, is what I find Gran Turismo. Man. I was afraid that I was way too slow in the corners before the straight, which of course severely affect your end top speed. And the faster you get into a long straight, the faster you get out of it. And the faster you also go for a pretty long time, so it really makes a big difference. Dragon Trail Seaside N400 race 2 laps. Try to finish with bronze for better results. The race is set on the reverse layout of the Dragon Trail Seaside track. Don't be confused by the reverse scenery. Okay, we are looking for an N400 car, which we don't have. This is also really cool. Building up the career, like putting some challenges in there that forces you to utilize different parts of the game functionalities. Like for instance now, we have to go and buy a car, an N400 car. So let's do that. Or we can even tune a car. An N300 to an N400, but let's not do that. Or maybe we could even detune a car like the Ferrari. But let's just see if we can buy a cool car. We can of course also just save the money and in the end at one time buy like... There is a bonus waiting to be claimed. Oh, let's do that. But and then at one point immediately buy one of the super expensive supercars. But then we will be missing out. Let's just buy cars as we go. Here, this is also a really well received car. The GT4 Cayman. And this is one of the most awkward and I personally find over valued cars. It's a really expensive car, I guess, and it's really like a go-kart almost. And I don't really understand what Kazunori Yamauchi is trying to do with all those real-life milestone events, mixing them in the dashboards. I really am not interested in the fall of the Berlin Wall when I'm playing a racing game. But probably it is also just to get that sense of reality, that mix between reality and fiction. I think that has something to do with it. That's also really... Wow, this is a cool car. A Corvette. I thought it was some Italian car. But it's also... with the scapes, for instance. That's also like this mix between real life photos and fictional 3D car models. It's really that blending, which I really find the GT series does really well. And in general is what I find really why I'm also a gamer, also with PC. Just seeing that boundary between fiction and reality, or photorealism and computer graphics, fade away, and we are really getting a long way. And of course I'm a bit older than the average gamer, or a lot older, but yeah, so I've really seen that development, and it's so interesting, and I'm super pumped. I hope if I'm in an elderly home that I will still have some kind of whatever it is at that time, like a PlayStation 10 in my room, and just be, yeah, you can just then jump into another reality. It will totally be become reality. And also the AI, they're working on artificial intelligence with major strides. Major progress is being made. So it will all become crazy. And I'm not sure whether that law, I don't know what it's called, like Hughes law or Marx law, or I don't know, that says that every year or 2 years or something, the hardware processing capacity doubles. That was indeed the case when we went from the Pentium processor to the Pentium 2 and the 3 and the 4. But I'm not sure whether that is currently the case. But still, I'm sure within now and 10 to 20 years, the difference will also be huge. Probably just as much as between now and 10 or 20 years ago. And we of course also have quantum computers around the corner, and that will also be a totally different design principle on I'm a layman, but that's what I expect. It will be totally different than just pushing some electricity pulses through a little microscopic circuit board, like a current central processing unit. I don't know how it works, but I think it will be pretty revolutionary. So lots of cool stuff is in the pipeline. Sorry, I'm ranting again. We have to buy a car. And it's loading. Why is it loading? Okay, here we go. Oh, first let's check our gifts. What do we have? Playtime. Thank you. Distance driven. Oh no, we don't have any others. Only playtime. Fine. I cannot even move that left. Oh, here it is. Theme color, lobby entry and match greeting. Hello! Thanks for the race. Let's buy a car. N400. Check out the Cobra. Will probably be N500 or something. Yes, it's an N500 car. Beautiful car. What's also pretty cool about the car is I think the camber of the left front wheel, or yeah, from here the left. Or is it the same? I thought it was a bit more the same as the right side, which is just like a little overlooking, like in real life could also happen. That's actually more realistic, also to build in some imperfections instead of having everything be mathematically 100% correct. In my car, actually, also, I think my left rear tire has more camber or wheel than the right rear wheel. Okay, but this is out of our league. I didn't know Fittipaldi had like his own motor company. Pretty cool car. Although I must say, all these cars look alike. Whether it's a Ferrari or a Fittipaldi, they're cool, but they're so similar nowadays. Which is a bit of a shame, I must say. Too quick. Okay, we want a small little car. Let's see if there's a BMW 1 Series or something. Yeah, the M4 Coupe. Pretty cool car. I'm gonna take it. Let's go with a white one. By the way, I totally find this in between screen totally oh, now it disappears automatically. That's good, because it's a totally needless screen. Maybe for the first time, okay, but you could also just make like a header over here in this screen explaining what these little stages and challenges are. It's actually over there to the left already, so that screen is like yeah, maybe just for the artwork. It's cool artwork, I have to admit that. Dragon Trail Seaside 2 and 400 race 2 laps.
Drive the Dragon Trail Seaside in a reverse layout. Be careful, as familiar corners will require a different racing line. This is an event using a car in your garage, so it is possible to modify the settings of a car from a different class to enter the event.
Okay, so you can probably upgrade or downgrade other class cars to be eligible for participation. Okay, I'm just checking out this video because it's indeed a bit different from the other way around. I must say they're only tutorial videos, but they're still a pretty big part of the game because we watch them all. It's a deep playthrough after all. But at first I didn't mind the low resolution that much, but now watching them for longer periods of time, it really bothers me a bit that it's such bad quality, these little tutorial videos. Why not do it 1080p? This really is like, I think it's 640, 480 or something. It's not even 720p, I guess. You have like this game that you really market as being 4K and super sharp graphics, and then you have like maybe 20% of all the challenges in driving schools. The footage, these tutorials videos, are like in the lowest quality ever, like from 10 years back. That is like mind-boggling if you think about it. Didn't somebody test play this? Didn't somebody say, hey Kamutsoki Yamugari, or whatever your name is, shall we not up the resolution a bit? Or maybe not utilize YouTube and simply put the video data in the game folder. It's not that big probably. It are a lot of videos, but they're not that long. Maybe a couple of hours video in total. Anyways, I'm complaining again. Here we go. I would like to do a standing start for a change. Shit. Sorry. Holy shit, it's a pretty tail-happy car, this. I have also no idea how many laps we have to drive. Hopefully more than one, because I'm screwing it up here. Make use of the width of the track. Really cool how different the track is, because if you like descending, totally different car behavior than ascending. Like, holy shit, of course, totally longer brake distance. It really is much harder driving it the other way. Much harder, because almost all the corners are downhill now. Which is weird, because that means there should also be an uphill section, I would say. Holy shit, and this car is crazy tail happy. Almost unrealistically so. I'm pretty sure a BMW in real life is not this tail happy. Of course, I've never driven a BMW in real life really on the limit. And of course it makes sense to only brake in a straight line, which I'm not doing in this race too often. Okay, so that's a sharp turn. Here's the uphill section. By the way, I do think there is some rubber banding going on. Like, if you're lagging behind, that the front runners, they slow down a bit. Just to keep the competition a bit alive. Man, that's a sneaky corner. I'm just doing the HUD on for a moment because I wonder whether my brake pedal is fully working. And I also would like cone marker, driving line assist, corner. I also really would like the clutch to simply work in cars that have a clutch. I'm not sure whether the M4 has a clutch in real life, but yeah, it seems to work fine. Okay, let's put off all the bullshit. Sorry for the word, but I have no other word for it. All that distracting information. There is some good information there, but it should be like a couple of inches maybe far in a corner, so that you can focus on the game, it's the world itself, instead of seeing a bronze, silver and gold cup in the middle of the screen. Beautiful lighting, by the way. I may be complaining on the game a lot this episode, but of course it is all far outweighed by the good stuff. The game does a lot very good. Only this car, man, I don't like the brakes that much. You really have to press the pedal firmly. Jesus, the AI is even slower than I am almost. This is a tricky corner, I guess. This one. Oh, this is a tricky corner. That's the one I have to be mindful of. I'm just casually gonna drive behind this car. Do not overdo it. And then I will overtake him in the last corner or something. Because now you can really see that the AI really isn't going that fast. I really have to get off the gas, not to overtake him. And also the third and the back of the pack, or the cars behind, they really fall like way behind suddenly. Okay, this should work out. If I play my cards right and don't slam in the wall on this straight. Woohoo! Watch one lap of the replay. Here, these two cars I noticed, I think it's a Lexus and a BMW. They look so similar. I think if you would just switch the logos, that you would be hard to tell that the Lexus is not a BMW. There are only minute differences, but overall they really are like maybe some corporate espionage went going on, because they really look like family of each other. Alright. Very cool. Dragon Trail. It's supposed to be in Croatia. I really wonder whether that's a real live circuit. Autodrome Lago Maggiore Grand Prix Group 3 race 3 laps. Carrots car event Group 3. Participate in a race in your favorite Group 3 car. The 2 long straights are the best points to overtake. Downforce and gear ratio settings are your shortcuts to victory. So the 2 straights and short gear ratios and downforce. So okay. Okay, I would like to drive the SRT.
This is a race using your favorite Group 3 car.
I'm not sure if it's my favorite. Okay, 100 meter sign.
The best spots to overtake are the 2 long straights. Set your downforce and gear ratios to raise your speed on these straights.
I'm not gonna tune the car now. Hopefully stock will be sufficient. The only thing is this is a totally new track, so I probably have to get to grips with the track a bit first. Or maybe I played once on it already. I'm not sure. Here we go. Let's just stick behind this car. Ah man, is he driving a fantasy car? Yes he is, I think. I don't want to drive behind a fantasy car. One moment guys. I do still smoke. It's really bad and my cigarette wasn't out. It's a pretty tricky corner. S-bend. A kind of a double S-bend a bit. Not really, but a faint S-bend. Ah, we did already drive this track. Man, they're really driving so slow. That's almost a shame because it doesn't force you to really get to know the track and drive on edge. Okay, it were really the ones that drove so slow were really the ones that were last. So they're not all driving that slow. But they're not driving fast by any standards. Sorry. Okay, this is only second place. I thought that was first place car. By the way, the rev limiter sounds super cool. Man, I can maybe even still win this race. I must say, it's maybe still... I was earlier in this episode complaining a bit that real, so-called real serious sim racers are often just made overly hard. But I must say, this game is maybe a bit too forgiving. I mean, I was the whole first lap, I was purposefully lagging behind. And still, I don't know the track. I'm just trying as I go. Only in the second lap I'm trying to push it a bit more. By far not having ideal lines or anything close to that. And I'm still in first place. Okay, watch a little piece of it. Just curious. The Vision GT cars are almost a reason for me to quit the game. I really don't like it. I want a real driving simulator. I don't want an arcade game. Really weird. They mix reality with fiction so well, but at the same time they mix it with arcadey stuff. That's Japanese people. They are pretty, in my book, a bit awkward. If you look at their horror movies or their manga stuff, they have like these real strange things going on, but they're also really good at a lot of stuff, like copying stuff, or now that's more Chinese, but like building stuff and designing stuff. But they also have like these weird tendencies, like being able to copy reality better than anyone else, but at the same time putting some weird fiction element into it. I don't find it really consistent, but yeah. And I can hardly imagine anyone really wanting or waiting for the Vision GT cars. And if you have if it are optional races or optional cars, fine by me. But they are way too prevalent. Here, this car, it's a stupid car. Okay, I will stop complaining for the 5th time. Sorry, guys. Last race of stage 3. WRX Group B rally car. Oh man, I don't hope. Yeah, we're probably Sardinia timed rally. We have to do the full course. This is a pretty hard challenge, I guess. Because even the smaller sections were pretty tough. Complete 2 laps around the track within the time limit.
Drive a dirt course in a Group B car within the time limit. Hitting walls or rival cars will reduce the remaining time.
Holy shit.
Make sure you have adequate space around your car for drifting around the corners.
It's like a Mercedes A? What the hell is that car? Yeah, that's weird. Ah, they're just there so you have to avoid them. They're not there for the competition. It's really all about maintaining safety zones while drifting. I think this could be a pretty tough race. Here we go. Holy shit! God damn it, that was time. That went pretty well. It's not that hard as I expected it. You can really, the car does have grip. As long as you are at the correct angle and you are really flinging your car early on into the direction where you want to go, and then drift around the corner, then it's actually a lot of fun. In Gran Turismo 4, the rally stages, they were also fun, but they could be very frustrating because also the time limits were way harder than in this game. You really had to fight for tenths of a second to achieve gold. It was super hard, but it does feel the same. Like the underground, it really has that Gran Turismo rally feel to it, which I don't think is the best compared to, for instance, dirt rally or stuff. But it's still, it's quite a lot of fun, these rally stages. Oh shit, I thought I pressed... that's stupid. Is it now saved? I hope so, my gold. I thought I hit replay, but I actually hit restart, I guess. Oh, now this is of course the replay of me bumping into the wall now. Yeah. So stupid. Woohoo! This is a cool Le Mans car, I find. Yeah, it's also actually the R8 Le Mans, I guess. Okay, it's almost time to call it quits, but... Have you tried this yet? Discover. Browse various types of content created by other players. No, I haven't tried that yet. Okay, let's try one or two more. Participate in a Group B class race stage at the Alsace village. Okay, so that's not dirt, I guess.
Drive the tarmac course of Alsace village in a Group B machine. Rally cars on paved roads tend to pitch and roll more and requires care when driving. It is necessary to predict the movements of the car in advance.
Of course, we didn't really do the single player career campaign yet, but I'm still a bit on the fence about what I find of the game. It's cool, but it's still not blowing me away. I mean, it's certainly up there at the top racers. I haven't played Project Cars 2 yet, but somehow even Project Cars 1 maybe felt a bit more visceral. Also with the changing weather conditions. And I had some amazing races in some kind of entry class open wheeler race cars. That really felt like like I was physically working the car and getting there. Well, this still has a bit it looks amazing, but yeah, maybe the single player campaign will make it even better. But if this is everything there is, like, then I find it a solid 8.5 or an 8 or something, but not a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. I'm not even sure what the Metacritic score is of the Gran Turismo Sport. Because the thing is, if you like online racing, then it's totally your racer. You have like this participation in the FIA events. It's all really serious stuff. But I'm just not that much into online. For me, Gran Turismo is the single player career. Tuning your cars, having like this huge car library. And yeah, and also really challenging, difficult challenges. Like that you have to really put some time into it. And that's of course not good for a playthrough. Because that sometimes would mean that I would have to drive a certain challenge for 20 or 30 times, or maybe well even 50 times. But now it feels a bit dumbed down, the challenges, because I'm pretty sure that I will finish first in maybe 1 or 2 tries. Let's see. And it's also a bit inconsistent with those tutorial videos. They sometimes they show like the full race, like 3 laps. Sometimes they cut away after a couple of shots, or maybe only after the first lap. That is, why not build some consistency in that? Like either do only 1 full lap if you want to demo a race, or do every time, all the time, the full races, demo them, but not arbitrarily once have like this super short tutorial vid, and it's like now like a super extended full race distance one. But yeah, I'm again sorry, I'm keep hanging into my complaining mode, but here we go. Oh, the cars do slide more. Than race cars, these rally cars. Man, they slide a lot. They have like way big turbo lag. Was I just saying how easy the game is? And now this is a pretty difficult race. Like speaking of the devil, I'm not gaining that much like in previous races. I have to make better use of the full width of the track. Cool, that's the Audi Quattro. I didn't know it was in game. And it's really all about avoiding the drift, because then it takes a long time to get the engine back up to revs. And because of the overhang and the looseness of the setup, getting into a slide is pretty easy in these cars. Oh shit. Like a slide like that, you should avoid. I should avoid. Or this one. That's also what I like. The project cars also had that. That your competitors also make mistakes and spin outs. Car in front of me made a small mistake. That was also really cool, always cool in project cars. That really cars spinned out. Like in real life. Like it's not I'm the only retard making mistakes. It happens to others as well. Sorry. Holy shit. Still a ways to go. Man, this is a pretty hard race. I retract my words about the game being easy. Also, what I find a bit weird is not only the inconsistency in the length of the tutorial videos, but also the rear view mirrors in cars. Some have a camera, okay, I can understand. Some have a mirror, but some have nothing at all. It really baffles me. Maybe I should then turn my... Like this car didn't have anything, I guess. Maybe I should turn my my head motion, but the D-pad is now set to the multifunction display, so I don't have any buttons on my steering wheel to move my head like left or right to watch in the mirror. But even so, there should simply be a mirror like straight ahead of you. Okay, BB Raceway, Battle of the Alfa Romeo 4C. The 4C stands for the ultimate inline 4-cylinder engines. Drive Alfa Romeo's first midship sports, the 4C race car, and catch the standard 4C driving one lap ahead. Okay, sounds challenging enough.
An Alfa Romeo 4C is driving one lap ahead of you. You will now try to catch up to the car with the race version of the same car. The best spot for overtaking is at the braking into turn 1. Try to find out how late you can brake into the corner.
Well, what a weird circuit this is. It's not really like a lot of corners, but it's also not an oval. How can you get like a design like this out of your pen? If somebody asks you, yeah, design a cool race circuit, how can you come up with this? Yeah, the only thing it's good for the audience. They can see everything. The whole circuit is in view, but for the drivers this is yeah, pretty boring, I would say. I must say that is what I find of ovals in general. oval racing, it's like pretty boring stuff. But maybe I'm not used to it. That could well be it. But watching cars do 200 laps, round after round, same left-hand corner after same left-hand corner, just doesn't sound that appealing. Of course, there will be like tense moments, like tense pit stops or tense draftings and overtakings, or even crashes in the wall. But still, a normal circuit really beats oval racing, I would say. Here we go. Holy shit. Sure as hell doesn't sound like a 4-cylinder engine. Holy shit, we have to become 14 seconds faster. I'm having a hard time with this corner over here. Okay, we have to catch him within 110. Clear. God damn it. 1 more second. God damn it. Nudging the wall. Woohoo! Really awkward track, but pretty fun, I must say. It turned out against my expectation. It's a cool little car, that 4C, I must also say. And good level of detail. You really see inside the car the roll bar and stuff. Really cool. Yeah, I'm really mood swinging, but now I'm really. I earlier said like, yeah, Gran Turismo, is it really as overwhelming as I found the previous titles, Gran Turismo Sport? And then I said, nah, I have to yet to be convinced. But now I'm slowly getting into it. If I look at this little car. And those little weird challenges like this, catching up a similar make car that somehow is a street version. You are in a race car and you have to do it on like this awkward circuit in the same type of car. That's pretty Gran Turismo-ish. They did have indeed more inspiration, more fantasy, more creativity in setting up the challenges. That was also in the previous games, I find, compared to the competition. Drive the Group B race car through a special stage time attack. Ooh, that is pretty difficult, I guess. Northern Isle Festival. No, but we need a race car, right? Yeah. And this is a rally car. Where can we buy a car? No, let's go and buy a car. A special rally? Okay, but rally doesn't necessarily mean off-roads or rally cars. You can also drive a rally, I guess, in normal cars. And I don't understand why that auto drive button is so prominently over there. I can hardly understand anyone who buys a racing simulator game putting auto drive on. So, unless you're doing like a 24-hour endurance race in real time, something like that, and you just need to get some sleep. But yeah, that are like those weird design decisions. Why put auto drive there and not, for instance, ABS? You can then just as well put the whole bunch over there. Traction control, automatic gear shift off, what have you more. But yeah, okay. I am babbling again. This is, by the way, pretty smart, that daily workout setup. That really forces you to play the game more. Or forces you, it stimulates you. Or motivates you. Stimulate is maybe, I don't know how that is in English. In Dutch it's the correct word. But I guess in English it could have maybe a bit more of a sexual undertone. Stimulation. So it's motivation what I was looking for. And again, a stupid fantasy car. Anyways, let's buy a Group B race car. Volkswagen. Why can't we sort the cars by... regulation? That would be so much easier. And also Lewis Hamilton, I find it a nice guy, but I'm not a super big fan. So I find it a bit overly done to have him so prominently in this game. But yeah, that's personal. Others will be super glad with it. Group B we're looking for. One sec, I want to check the class of the Enzo. And 500s, and 700s, and 1000s. Okay. The coolest one is, of course, still the F40. Here, isn't this stupid? I'm just now just browsing blindly, hoping to find a Group B car. Together they make watches. Come on, people. Yeah, this is simply like a commercial. I'm not even sure whether Group B is it. I think I simply have to go with that. Group B is simply rally still. I think I was mistaken. It's simply a rally event. Okay, sorry guys, that is my bad. Because it says drive the Group B race car. I would assume it would have said Group B rally car, but yeah. Because the NSX is designated as a Group B rally car.
This is a time trial on a special course set at the infield of the Northern Isles Speedway. The midsection that winds wide to the left is also a great stage for drifting.
Holy shit, that was it? You're kidding me. And this is also probably just to get to know the track. Holy shit. Okay. That was like pretty lame race. I even screwed that corner up pretty heavily. But as I said so many times already, it's gold, so who cares? The game is just super forgiving. But I'm still waiting. Probably the guy with the hammer will come, and we will hit a brick wall, like with a super difficult event. If it's anything like the past Gran Turismos, I'm sure there will be a brick wall event somewhere in there that really takes like super long to complete, which is fun actually. I like the challenge. Aim for a top speed of 400 kilometers an hour in the Bugatti Veyron. Use the slipstreams of your rivals to raise your speed quickly. Again, such a cool setup for an event. I mean, it's all pretty easy to come up with, but somehow other racing games never do. It's only Gran Turismo that does that nice mix between...
Aim for a top speed of 400 kilometers in the Bugatti Veyron.
Between action
Utilize slipstreams to raise your speed.
And
the key is
fun.
Moving smoothly from behind one car to another. Remember to be quick on the steering, as there will be a large speed difference with your rivals.
It's fun, but it's also a bit coziness with also those innocent, almost childlike musical scores. But also driving at the same time a 1000 horsepower Bugatti Veyron. It's all, yeah. I'm still getting accustomed to the game again after such a long time. But it's still, yeah, it is still indeed Gran Turismo, and it has certainly its own unique flair. Here we go. Oh shit, I have to slipstream. Oh. Ah, fuck it. Not slipstreaming here. No idea how fast I'm going. Holy shit, that was pretty slow. Can you imagine driving 400 in real life in such a car? It's weird actually that such cars are allowed on the roads. I mean, driving 400. That's like airplane speed. I keep forgetting to shift in this car. That was to be expected. Oh, there's actually damage. You see? That never used to be the case. It's slightly cosmetic only, but in previous Gran Turismos it never was the case that there was any damage. It was like invincibility cars. Okay, I have to not forget to shift. Woohoo! Let's watch this sprint. I don't really like the design of the car, but of course it's a very impressive car. It looks classy enough, but I don't like those rear tail lights to be so close together. And it's also a bit too round, I must say. Holy shit, but it is fast. Can you imagine driving 200, which I hardly ever did, and then being overtaken by a car that drives twice as fast? That's totally weird. Okay, and pretty irresponsible, actually. Rotary sound Mazda LM55V GT. This is again what I'm talking about. Unless this is a real car, I'm not sure, but it looks to me like, yeah, it's Vision GT indeed, VGT. Then you have like rotary sound, like that is something really unique to Mazda, the rotary engines. It's really realistic, it's like from real life. And then you put that, like you put this challenge forward, like experience the authentic rotary sound, but then you put it in a fantasy car. That is, again, Gran Turismo has such nice combinations of unique features, like the challenge we just did in the Bugatti, but it also has some really weird ones, like this one. Raise your position before the finish line. Okay, so we have one sharp right-hander, then a kind of an S-bend in a row, and then a sharp right-hander again.
This is a challenge on a high-speed section with rapidly ascending and descending hills and consecutive corners. Make sure to clip the apex of the S-curve and overtake your rivals at every opportunity.
What is it? Is it VG Speedway? I think so. Oh no, it's Maggiore, I guess. ...180 kilometers an hour in third gear. Not even the design is fantastic. And the physics are as well. Or the performance. My bad. I thought it would be glued to the roads like a train on tracks, but apparently it isn't. I do really like the heads up. Pretty clear. It's really like you're in a spaceship. Didn't expect that. The real life LM cars look way cooler, I think. That blue one. '86 Group B rally car. Colorado Springs. Night race, 2 laps. Group B race through Colorado Springs at night. Use the few markers you can find to trace precise lines and overtake. Looks pretty cool.
Challenge a night race in Colorado Springs with a Group B race machine. In a night session, your field of vision will be limited. Watch out for undulations of the road and hidden jumping spots.
Okay, let's just try it. Man, that was close. Yeah, damn it. To be expected. I was waiting for it to go wrong. See you later. I was actually distracted in the middle of the race because I think there was like this, how do you call them? Drone flying around with a camera. So normally they have some helicopters flying about to make it a bit more interesting. And I think this time it was a drone. Anyways, the races do get a little bit more harder. Like in the past also, you had like the big pack you have to catch up. And then you have like the second and the first place car. They are always like quite a distance in front of the pack. And especially the first place car is pretty hard to get to. But still, I think there is some rubber banding going on. Like that if you're in the last round, that's in your second place, that the first car also takes it a bit more easy. So you have like a bigger chance to win the race in an epic way. But I'm not sure about that, but that's just what I suspect. Let's watch out for the drone. In these camera angles I don't really see the drone, but I thought it was in the midsection somewhere. Yeah, over there. In the middle of the screen, in the distance. I saw it. Yeah, there it is. Pretty cool detail. Cool dynamic lighting. It's too bad they don't have like dynamic weather. On the other hand, there are night races. I think also you can simply select them, which is fine by me actually. I find it always a bit weird that it turns from night to day in like 5 minutes, or day to night. But I hope that, for instance, if you do a night race in Le Mans, that it actually is a bit more dark. Because of course, where we are now, it's not that dark at all. It's like pretty, even without lights you could simply drive this track. Alright, that was a win. Almost there, peoples. The Veneno is the 50th anniversary model of Lamborghini. Take on an urban track in this V12 monster. Tokyo. Tokyo also really, if it's the same as GT4, then it really has some cool flashback memories. Or flashbacks, or memories, whatever. I think a flashback memory is like double.
Race through the Tokyo Expressway in the ultra-high-powered Veneno. Make your overtaking attempts in the braking from high speed. At turn 1 and the hairpin, make sure to find a braking point where you can slow down adequately.
Ah, this is the same track as that night track, indeed. Of course, I was already wondering, do they have like these gutters in each highway track? But it's actually the same track as the night track, which also had those gutter sounds, like the toof, toof, toof. Okay, let's just see how it goes. Wow, cool dashboard. For 10 seconds. Afterwards, I would find it pretty annoying if this was continuously the dash in my car, like this. But I assume you can tweak its colors. Oops. Sorry, guys. Oops, sorry guys, I really have to start braking way earlier. God damn it, way earlier, even before the 200 meter sign. But it's also you're flying through the air a bit over there, and then you lose brake power, it seems. I shifted too early. Okay, where the fuck is that sign? Over there. So let's start braking here. Jesus Christ, even before that one. So really way before the 200 meter sign. Holy shit, even before that. Before the big lantern post, I guess. Sorry. I really have no idea how the track works. God damn it! Alright, we have to brake a bit earlier in that back section. Cool race, by the way. They become more challenging. This is also a cool race to to see the replay, I guess. Here, this McLaren looks absolutely realistic from... holy fuck. God damn it. From behind. There I had like a really Gran Turismo moment. Like, it all came together. It really looked like almost real life. Oops, going wide again. Ah, it's only one race. Okay, I don't mind doing that one again. It's a cool race. Holy fuck. Whatever. Damn it. Okay, screw this. Sorry, guys. Man, I thought I was just passing him. I'm being, I have a motoric handicap. Or how the hell you say it, like controlling my limbs is not going that well anymore. Hand-eye coordination is gone. God damn it, same spot. I'm such a retard. Okay, so the first one is pretty wide. Second one is way more sharp. What the hell am I doing? I have no feel about how sharp each of these corners are. I'm afraid to brake too much and lose speed. And I'm afraid to go too fast because it might be a super sharp corner. But this is again the old Gran Turismo. Just learning the tracks, learning the car, getting better each time. Except in my case, I still bump into the wall. But that's also Gran Turismo. A bit of wall driving. Of course it's cheating. Okay, this one is quicker. And the other one... The left-hander coming up now, this one is tricky. And this one as well. That's why the red arrows are on the wall, of course. They're all pretty tricky. Okay, and brake early here. Jesus Christ, I braked early, but it's simply a super sharp corner. Okay, I wonder whether I can still catch him. I think so. Come on, Lamborghini. Woohoo! Yeah, that's a pretty fast car. Actually looks a bit like a Vision GT car, but this is actually a real life one. A production model. The Acura NSX is actually a pretty modest car from a design perspective. It's pretty regular actually. Dare I say boring. Of course the Veneno is way over the top, that's the other extreme, but I think it's actually an ugly car, the Veneno. I wonder whether there was some rubber banding going on there, that the first place car maybe lifted off the throttle a bit more, so we could win it spectacularly just in the last 30 feet. But maybe I was just super quick, that could also be the case. I doubt that though. Last race, American Muscle at the streets of Willow, 2 laps. With roaring engines and massive torque take part in a clash of American sports cars. But what is the difference between a challenge like this and simply the career modes? I don't understand that. Because there you also have like these races, yeah, it's more of a series. But for instance, all American or all Japanese. The only difference is that this is a single race, I guess.
This is a race using American sports cars known for their abundant power. Remember that rough throttle operation in the corners can cause oversteer. Be gentle on the throttle until the exit of a corner.
Let's do it. I've actually no idea where I am now. Ah, you see, this track is bigger than I thought. I guess we only raced previously a smaller version of it. Because this is quite new to me. American cars are pretty well represented in game. And I guess this is a real life track, probably in Australia or somewhere. Getting to him is one, but passing him is another story. Especially if you don't know the track. Like I don't. Woohoo! Man, it's pretty good for your ego, this game. Because I am sure I am like a mediocre driver. Not the best by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm golding them all pretty easily. Okay, last replay of the episode, because this is also the last race of the stage. And in the next episode I will try to have the clutch enabled to make it more authentic. Because now I'm only using the flippers on the steering wheel. But if a car has a clutch in real life, I would also like to use it in game. Cool body color, that silver tone. And the exhaust pipe beneath the side doors. Very cool. And yeah, good for cooling as well, I guess. Less heated pipes, and probably also less back pressure. So it's a Corvette, it's a Viper, a Mustang, a Corvette, a Camaro, and maybe another one. Viper. Can we change the car? Mustang, Camaro. Yeah, I don't know what that one is. That's the other one. Corvette, Viper, Mustang, Camaro. Yeah, that's a Dodge. Oh, a Challenger, I guess. Alright, completed the stage. Whee! Present time. Gift time. Whee! Pretty cool car. I'm not really a fan of it. Have you tried this yet? Racing etiquette. Learn the necessary rules and etiquette for taking part in races. This option is required to participate in online races. Do you have to take an exam then or something? Again, the cool music. Alright, we're 50% there, peoples. It's the weekend, so I'm sure we will get to 75 and maybe even 100% very shortly. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this second part of the challenge episodes. Of course, it's all all part of the bigger deep playthrough. But yeah, I had a good time. It went pretty smoothly, I must say. So that's it's a good thing. Maybe also would be cool to have some genuine challenges. But because then the payoff, of course, yeah, is that much better. It feels much a sense of accomplishment you have then. But I'm sure they will still come by tough races. So hope to see you in the next vid, guys. And for the meantime, as always, never forget, keep on gaming. See you later.